Hello and welcome to Marinsky March 2023, where every day in March we make a sausage recipe out of one of Adam and Stanley Marinsky's books. Last year we did home production of quality meats and sausage, which I think is one of the best sausage books out there still. It gives you the how and why behind what you're doing in sausage making. But this year we're doing recipes out of the new book, 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes, which is a gift to us sausage makers and meat enthusiasts. Adam and Stan have traveled across Europe and North America for the last 20 years compiling recipes, and they put it all into this jumbo book. What's even better is Stanley has sent me 5 copies to give away to you guys over the course of the month, and all you got to do to get qualified is leave a comment in the videos and I'll find you and I'll send you a copy if you're one of the lucky winners. So, without any further ado, let's get into 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes by Adam and Stanley Marinsky.
Hello and welcome to Marinsky March, where we are picking by random recipes from 1001 Greatest Sausage Recipes by Adam and Stanley Marinsky. Today we have stumbled upon another bratwurst recipe, the Kalbsbratwurst. Kalbsbratwurst. This one, there's lots of different bratwurst recipes in Germany, and they usually just vary a little bit in technique or in meat ratio. So some have a bit of beef, some have a bit of pork, some have all pork. This one is made with veal. And earlier in the month, you heard me say, if you've been watching along all month, that I couldn't get my hands on any veal. I looked all around. So today I'm going to use a pork and beef mixture to hopefully replicate the flavor of veal, because I feel like that is integral to this recipe. So we're going to do our best to simulate it. So it's about, I don't know, 40% pork in here. I have just lean top sirloin. So the recipe calls for veal lean with connective tissue and veal belly fat trimmings. So lean connective tissue would be, let's say, like your flank meat or something like that has been leaned up and the fat has been taken off, or the shank meat where the fat has been taken off, and then the belly would have a little bit higher fat content to bring up the juiciness of this sausage. Now what it says about the Kalbsbratwurst is a veal medium coarsely ground German bratwurst. And so the end product of this one's going to be fully cooked. We're going to poach it, and it's something you would crisp up just gently on the barbecue before you serve it. So here is our meat selection. I got a little bit fattier pork and some very lean beef under there. Some odds and ends off top sirloins, basically. So we're just going to run through the grinder once on a 6mm plate, which is also a 1/4 inch. We'll pop that up there and grind our hearts out. There we go. Look at that nice mix coming through nice and smooth because it's nice and cold. All right, that's the end of it. Now I'm a little bit surprised that we would pick a high connective tissue meat when you're doing such a coarse grind, because you could wind up with chunks of connective tissue or tendon or silver skin and stuff in there. So I actually picked probably a little bit nicer meat than what the recipe calls for. But that's okay. That looks like a pretty perfect ratio of fat to lean for me for sausage making. So let's season it up and stuff it. Now I did see one of you guys leave a comment in the comments down below about the recipe. One of you guys, I can't remember what your name is, I apologize, but you have bought the book and you see that the recipe says just pepper. And you're like, well, what kind of pepper? And I agree. It should say specifically white or red or green or black. So a little bit of background knowledge kind of helps sometimes. In a German sausage, this recipe, for example, just has pepper as a ingredient. So a little background, most German sausages tend to use white pepper unless otherwise stated. It's a pretty a staple in a bratwurst recipe, and this has some other stereotypical spices like mace. You see that often. Sometimes you see nutmeg and ginger. This one has a little bit of allspice. So German sausage recipes, if it doesn't specifically specify, it's probably white pepper. So this one's white pepper, doesn't say. Mix those spices in. Love me a good German bratwurst. Allspice, there's a decent amount of allspice, which is kind of different. I don't see it all the time. Now we're just going to mix it till it gets a little sticky. Put in our water. Not very much water in this recipe. Only 3% instead of 10%. This one's actually going to be quite a mild version of bratwurst. I think it's really kind of designed to let the veal pop out, but we don't have any veal, so hopefully this is okay. It's nice and coarse now, or nice and sticky, this coarse mixture, so I think we're due to put it into the stuffer. Okay, we got the Kalbsbratwurst stuffed into the stuffer. Time to get it into the casings. Packed it in good and tight to try and alleviate the air pockets. Pressure on, get the last bit of air out of there. And you control the firmness by how hard you pinch on the end of the horn. You want to start pinching out. There we go. A nice coarse sausage. You can see the two textures really good. A little bit of air builds up on the horn. You can stop. Use your thumbnail, press hard against the horn, it releases the air. There is the end. So take a little pressure off. Just rip it off the horn like so. 6 to 8 inch lengths. So we're going to make. So just a typical brat, 8 inches a bit long. Sticks out on either side of the bun. These ones are fairly easy to link because that coarse pork allows for lots of movement as long as you don't overstuff them. And you can tell if you've overstuffed them if you pinch and there's no give in the natural casing. It's very firm. You're going to have to do a lot of massaging of the casing to get it to be linkable without it exploding. There we go, easy peasy. The Kalbsbratwurst, you can see in the back corner there. See that? The pot is going. It's got the mortadella in it. If you haven't seen the mortadella episode, maybe it's not out yet. Oh, maybe I give away a secret this month. Okay, we'll pop them in there and cook them. There's the mortadella in there, and it's about to be joined by the Kalbsbratwurst. There we go. Minimal disturbance. Water should be at 175. Might not be there yet. I'm starting it low and slow for that mortadella. 160, which is okay. That's hot enough. And it'll start coming up, so I'll just probe those in about 20 minutes and see where they're at. Okay, our time has elapsed on the bratwursts. Mortadella will take a while, so we'll just poke one, see where we're at, get to the core. 167, so that's good. Time to pop those guys out of there and get them cooling down in a cold water rinse so we don't lose any more than necessary of the juice. Okay guys, the Kalbsbratwurst are cooled down. I'm going to taste test one of these while they're cold. But really, a bratwurst should be eaten hot. It's not a sausage that's meant to be eaten cold. How I would eat this, I would just crisp up the skin a little bit, and I'd probably put it in a bun with some golden, sauteed onions or something like that, or sauerkraut is very good. But assuming this one's going to be quite good, the coarse pork and beef is going to hopefully simulate our veal. Yeah, it looks good in the middle. Got some fat in there. Okay, look pretty good. Those kind of fat bubbles will be translucent if it was served warm. And I'll confess to you now, before I have this chunk, I did eat one of these hot out of the pot. After I pulled it out of the pot, just dipped into some yellow Heinz mustard, and it was very good. I think it's allspice, white pepper, mace. What else we got in there? Allspice, pepper, mace, and this beautiful little sausage. I know it's a good one. I'll pre-warn you, it's good. But it's better warm. The flavors and seasonings and stuff are all there. The coarseness is kind of nice. It's more of a crumbly bratwurst than a well-bound, emulsified bratwurst. But it's some very good bratwurst flavors. And the coarseness, excuse me, talking with my mouth full. The coarseness of this sausage is probably like the signature feature of it. And it's good. It works really good with this. And it's very yummy. I love me some bratwurst though. If you like bratwurst, the Kalbsbratwurst would be on the to-do list. I'd recommend it to you. And I hope you liked the video. If you did, give it a thumbs up and subscribe. And we make a video like this every day in March. Thanks again for watching, guys. Take care. Have a great day.